Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the rear brake shoes in your C5 Corvette. This should be the same process in the C6 as well. This is a 28-year-old car, so I'm guessing these are original. They've still got a good amount of pad, but when I was pulled off my rotors, part of this one came off. And this is pretty common in these style of shoes. With them being this old, I'm not super surprised. Have seen some other guys post online how they're such a pain, and I did the first one and it really was not too bad. I'm just doing this same day, so I just got these at NAPA. If you go to NAPA, I searched 1998 Corvette brake shoes, they came right up. They've got the same style retaining, or sorry, just this portion, the retaining clip from the factory. So not too bad of a job. We're gonna do it real quick. Get that line pulled off first, and then we can get our caliper and our rotor off. So I'm gonna flip this around the backside so it's a bit easier to see. Taking off this line, you're gonna need a 13mm wrench for this one. And make sure you get some towels or something laid down so you're not making a mess of brake fluid. This is an aftermarket line right here, but it should still be a 13 there for you. And I'd recommend doing this a bit earlier, but definitely get some anti-seize and get onto these 221 bolts. Those are where we're gonna hit next. Like I mentioned, these are both a 21. Might be a little easier to start on the bottom. That way the caliper can hang off there on the top. Probably best to get both broken loose at least before you fully remove either one. There we go. Now we're back around on the front. Make sure that your handbrake is turned off. You're not gonna be able to get these off if you've got that brake shoe clamped down on your rotor, and you still even might have a little trouble with it stuck on that shoe. It can be pretty tight on there. Now that you got the rotor off, you're gonna wanna go ahead and loosen your handbrake. So the way this works is you twist this to tighten it, and it opens up so that your handbrake does not have to move as far to get this pushing up against your rotor. So we're gonna wanna close it by pushing it counterclockwise, and that will make it a bit easier to get out here. So go ahead and just grab a flathead screwdriver and then give it a few spins counterclockwise. All right, I think mine is all the way down there. Next, you're gonna wanna go ahead and get a pry bar and go ahead and just pry this off. Don't worry too much. I mean, you're not reusing the brake shoes, so there's not really anything you can break in here. You should get new clips with your new brake shoes as well, so you don't have to be too terribly gentle. So these are what everyone complains about when you're putting it back in. This little retaining clip right here, we'll just flip that back behind there. There we go. And if this comes out on the bottom of your handbrake tensioner here, don't worry, you can just pop it right back in. Not a big deal at all. Both sides of this actually come out. You can see how this mechanism works a little bit better. So it actually twists off here. So when it's all the way seated down in there, that is as closed as it's gonna get. So you're gonna wanna get it as closed as possible and in there, so it's easier to get that next shoe in. So these actually cannot mount up just either way here. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and get your retaining clip, and the edge here should be up against the brake. So we'll just get both ends popped into here, and then we want our top here up by these two holes. There are going to be two places for those to clip onto, one up here at the top, and we've got another over here on the side, right there. So first, we're just gonna make sure that we've got this in the direction that it's gonna line up on that top clip. And then we've got another one right here that is gonna line up on that lower or left clip. Go ahead and take a zip tie there, and we're gonna feed it through one side of that clip, and then pull it back up around the other end there. And that is gonna be to hold this in place. because it is going to be a pain to get those clips on if it is not held in place there. So tie it in, get a zip tie, get it locked in there, and then you'll want it nice and tight. So this is where a lot of people make this much more difficult. The easiest way to do this is to go on the back side here where it's going to be clipping on and go ahead and pull these out. So do not try and do this with them in there. You are going to have a nightmare of a time just trying to jam it in with those in. So get those pulled out like this. I'm going to do my best to get the best angle for you here, but we're putting it back in how we had it. And then we're going to start by getting that just roughly in place. Want to get that clip as close as possible to there. I actually just got that first one with my thumb there. So as you can see, it is on. There we go. We can see just right here. And go ahead and slip your thumb behind there. All right, we're good. That one is on there now. So we've got both on. Now we just have to get them retained into here, which is so much easier than trying to put them onto the shoe first and then pull the shoe onto there somehow and get those clips all in one go. It is a nightmare if you try and do it like that. So just go ahead and reach through with a pick. I've got a hook pick right here. And you can genuinely get these for $1 at Harbor Freight. This is a nicer set, but I would just get some cheapies if you're not planning on reusing them. And the key to this is going to be really pull these towards you and not down so you don't come off that clip. All right, got that first one in. Get hooked on to our second one here. Having a little trouble kind of guessing because I don't want to stick my head in front of the camera here and block anything. I'm once again going to pull that kind of just towards us. All right, now even with this fully loosened, this can be a little tough to get these back onto here, but it's really not too bad. So get your pry bar back out. And just get it opened up enough to get onto there. There we go. Get my smaller pry bar here. All right, that top one is lined up good. And then it looks like on the bottom here, I might be twisted off a little bit, but we can get that turned, no problem. All right, sorry if that was not the best camera angle, but you can see we got that turn. Just stick a flathead straight in there and then move it as you're turning there. All right, now you can cut your zip tie. Looks like I need to get mine a little bit tighter, so we're gonna go ahead and move this clockwise. Go ahead and get this as centered as you can. That way it's not too hard to get your rotor on. Just kind of use your thumbs and work it around that edge. All right. Go ahead and grab your rotor. There we go. All right. You should be able to turn it without your handbrake on. And then go ahead and apply your handbrake in the cabin and then make sure that you are not able to turn this. And if so, you are adjusted all right. If you do need to make further adjustments, just remember that to clockwise is to tighten or expand that, and then counterclockwise is to make it looser so you can spin more freely. Good luck.